Hello, it's Rebecca, Empathic Crow again. Um, so you are seeing me fresh-faced. It has been a longer Friday than I thought it was going to be. Um, and so I was like, I'm taking a shower and resting for a moment, and then I will focus on other things that I need to do. So please excuse the no makeup, but I am still prepared because it really feels important to do a reading. It has been a while. And coming in strong with sacral chakra. So I've got the sacral chakra candle that I created a sticker for and Reiki'd that energy into. We've got orange aventurine and also some sunstone, which are both sacral chakra stones. On my receiving arm, I've got some kunzite and also black tourmaline. I've been wearing those quite a bit. Just feels really supportive right now. And I made these earrings. This is Angel Aura Quartz, and then there's little teeny tiny moonstones and hematite on there. And this, I haven't, I don't think I've talked about this yet in a reading, but my brother, he is celebrating 1 year having taught himself how to wire wrap and creating his own wire wrapping business. This is one of the pieces that he had taken to a vendor event. And I had told him, if you don't sell that, that is mine, because this rose quartz piece, it makes me think of an angel. And so and it's very powerful. And I was like, I have to have that one. So I've been wearing that a lot lately as well, because it just has this amazing energy. So that's JP's Twisted Crystals. And he is my biological brother. He is amazing. Per usual, the sign is on with the color chakra that's coming to me, which is that orange. Now, you may see a lot of changing colors, and hopefully it's not distracting. The ring light does have an option for doing like a rainbow swirling effect, and that just felt the most comfortable for me in my eyes today. And I was like, hey, it is Pride Month. So, as the sign back here says, love is all that matters. All is love, love for all. Happy Pride to anyone who celebrates. And if you don't, I send you love and compassion and just ask for the same in return for anyone who may not think the way that you do. I am a proud ally, and I will continue to be a proud ally. All right. So having said that, let me show you the gemstones that I picked up. So here's a fire quartz. Oh, now you can see the rainbow of the ring light. Maybe it's not the best color, but that's okay. So this is a fire quartz, and it has some of its own natural rainbows. Actually, let's see. I know I really like this color today, but we'll go ahead and, oh, that is super bright. I know I can't turn it down because then it starts being really high pitched. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's horrible. All right. Ugh, that is super white, super blue. We'll go with this gentle yellow light. It may make me look jaundiced, but that's okay. We're going to just, yeah, look at that yellow. That's okay. We're going to just deal with it. So this is the fire quartz. And you can see right here, there's a little flash where rainbow's wanting to come through. I love this. I got this from this amazing individual that I met. Her name was Cassie. Oh my gosh, I feel bad that I don't remember, but it was spelled in a really interesting way, Cassie. And she used to sell at a flea market that I would go to, and she gave me this stone. I really appreciate it. Then we have some carnelian. So I've got a carnelian moon. Look at that druzy on the inside. Sparkle, sparkle. Okay, and then a carnelian heart. So I love the banded aspects of both of those. This is just a carnelian temple. I love it, especially this Dalmatian looking effect on the back. Oh, excuse me. Then we've got some sunstone. One is just a little smooth tumble, and then the other both polished. The other thing that has really been on my mind lately are Merkabas. I've talked a bit about sacred geometry lately and actually signed up for a training today to be able to learn some more about it because it's calling to me quite a bit. This Merkaba is moss agate, and this one, I believe I got this back in like 2014 when I was only 2 years into the whole gemstone rabbit hole. But I believe it was sold to me as bloodstone. It doesn't have a lot of red places on it, but I think that's what it was sold as. It's been a while. All right, so let's get into the reading because I'm already 5 minutes in. Oh, and there are 2 more. There were 5. There are 2 more tickets, vouchers in the events section of my website, which is empathiccrow1111.com. And those are for a free recorded reading. And with that, I do my tap-in meditation for a bit before I start. I choose stones for you for your reading, like what I've shown you just now. I intuitively choose the decks that I'll use, and usually that's going to be a tarot deck and 1 or 2 oracle decks. It just depends. I do these very intuitively, so whatever the message that comes through, if you've watched any of my YouTube general readings, you already know. Or if you watch this one, you will know. So let's get into it. I have both the Crow Tarot deck by MJ Cullinane and the Modern Witches deck in front of me, but I'm really feeling called to use the Modern Witches deck, so we're going to do that. And this is by Lisa Sterle. And there are still some cards because this is a newer to me deck that I haven't pulled from this one. I know the Star card. There is a very naked woman. I just opened it up to the Moon card, but like the Star card, it's like full frontal. And so I will try to make sure that for anyone who may be easily offended by things like that, or to keep it PG or whatever it is, that I will try to be mindful of that and cover up any images that I may need to. Elbow is still having some issues, so I cannot shuffle like I usually would, but these cards have been shuffled before. I have just shuffled them 3 times, and we are going to start. God, angels, guides, and ancestors, help me to bring the message that someone needs to hear. I'm feeling that it's going to be about the sacral chakra and possibly heart chakra, with both of the Merkabas being heart chakra stones. But I am open to receiving whatever it is that is needed by someone who watches this video, or multiple someones. All right, so let's pull the cards and see what comes through. Oh, these cards are kind of slick because they are newer. So we're going to just put those back in and shuffle because they didn't fully come out. And we're not going to take that many cards at one time. I have sometimes taken multiple, but that's quite a bit. All right. 1 card at a time, please. Okay. What is going on that someone needs to focus on? All right, we're starting out with the Hanged Man. This has been a card that's come out quite a few times recently. And then, or excuse me, this is called the Hanged One, Hanged Man in the original Rider-Waite Tarot Smith deck. And I don't know that I've said this, but other people say it, and I don't always say things because I feel like it's just intuitive, but I forget sometimes I have to say, follow this, do this, you know. But with any of the tarot cards or tarot cards, however we want to say it, there isn't really gender in the decks. So even if a king shows up, it doesn't mean that it can't describe a female. It's just the energy of the card, which doesn't have to be masculine or feminine. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us, but that's for another day. So anyway, the Hanged One is the first card. Excuse me. And then we have the King of Cups. So it feels like there's some, with that sacral chakra and connected with the heart chakra, there's like a block here where you're not allowing yourself to be passionate, be creative, to be playful. It feels like your own emotional shutdown. You're just trying really hard to just get through things, not focus on anything else, just getting through the day, managing it, making sure that you get things done. There's a lot of emotions that may be there, but you're just kind of stuffing them down, and trying to not focus on it. With this cup and the way that he's holding it, it could even be whether it's an alcoholic drink or just a drink that makes you feel better. That could be coffee, caffeine, soda, whatever. That you could be leaning on that as a way to try to get you through. Sometimes with those drinks that we enjoy, it gives us a little bit of a dopamine or serotonin boost. And so then we may feel good when we're drinking it. And it could even be something other than a drink, just things to try to get out of your head. All right, so we had 2 cards come out. We had the Ten of Swords. The energy that I'm feeling, like even that I'm noticing right now for myself, and this was not the energy that I entered this reading with, is just exhausted. Like I feel, even just now, I don't know if you saw me reach the card, I just felt like, even picking up these 2 cards just feels heavy, which is silly to me. You know, yeah, it's been a long day, but not like that. My energy's good. I refreshed myself with a shower. But we've got the Ten of Swords, like it just feeling like it's one thing after another. Like right now what I'm seeing is just all these. So you've got emotions and then you've got like thoughts. And usually emotions and thoughts don't necessarily always match, or sometimes we can be the sword that is stabbing ourselves. But it feels like with your emotions and trying to suppress those emotions, whether other people are putting you or doing things to make you feel like you're being put in a situation where you're being knocked down, like just beat down, beat up, knocked down, emotionally drained. Even as I say that, like seeing, you know, her just laying here and she can barely hold up the phone, like so emotionally drained. And I feel like suppressing these emotions means that these are your thoughts. Like you're in that cycle of negative self-talk and doubt. And it just feels like it's constantly one thing after the other. Emotion comes up, you push it down, you try to go into the logic mode of your head, figure out what you can do. And each time you do that, it's like taking away a piece of yourself, a piece of your joy. It's taking away some of that happiness, and it's making you feel like you're pinned down to the ground. Like when I'm looking at these swords, while they may not be pinning her down, that's kind of how I'm seeing it in my head, is like a push pen with a paper on the board. Like it's just being penned down, and like these swords are pinning you down and you feel trapped. But it's in your own mind. And in that card, we've got, you know, this pink that's being drowned out by the black. And so it's like that heart chakra, which is probably why I mentioned, and I'm wearing green, the green of the Merkabas, and the heart chakra is that connection with the or the sacral chakra, excuse me, is that heart chakra is being pushed to a minimum. Like you're trying to close it down and just focus on the things that you feel obligated to, the things that you feel like you need to do. And you've lost that passion and that connection to the things that you want to do, the things that maybe you or other people have said aren't necessary things. One of the things that I feel like my generation and generations before, and not to say other generations haven't experienced this, but it was pretty hard and heavy in our generations past, where if you weren't doing something productive, you were considered lazy. And so there's difficulty sometimes with resting or allowing ourselves to do things that we may enjoy because it's not productive. It's not bringing in income, or it's not doing something that contributes to a task. And all of these thoughts of what you need to do, who you should be, what you didn't get done, whatever it is, they are weighing you down so hard. And right now I'm feeling my throat feeling like it's just closed up. And I notice in all three of these cards, we've got the Hanged One in a blue shirt. We've got the King of Cups in a blue suit. It just feels so overwhelming, all this like pressure. Like I'm not having the thoughts that you may be having, but it just feels so overwhelming that even it's like a swirl and you can't just pick one out because they're coming in like the Eight of Wands type energy where it's like, and then she's also got on a blue skirt. And so, like I said, my throat just feels like it's closing up. Like it's like, shh. You're not supposed to say these things. You can't say that you feel overwhelmed. You can't say that you just want to rest. You can't say that you just want to do the thing that you enjoy. And so that's part of blocking yourself and that sacral chakra. And sacral chakra also can be intimacy. So this may even be in a relationship where it feels like if I don't do certain things, or I don't focus on certain things, then that intimate connection is broken. And we have to be able to communicate what we need. So you may not even be enjoying that intimacy because it's like the thing I'm getting is like expectations. Like you're trying to meet all the expectations and you're not even focusing on yourself or your wants, your desires. It's about other people feeling okay or being satisfied, not your own personal pleasure, satisfaction, whatever it is. And that is a heavy energy, and we can only carry that for so long. At some point, we have to be able to focus on ourselves, even if other people may see it as being selfish, because if you don't, you aren't going to be able to give to anyone else anyway. All right. Feels like there's a question that needs to come from this. And look at this Hanged One as I'm saying that. We've got around the head at the bottom this yellow glow, which I feel like that's solar plexus. You're in all these worries and anxieties. Like even the shirt on the King of Cups is yellow, and he does not seem confident. This is not confidence. And then we notice that as it goes out, the orange in that halo around the head, like you're going to have to build that confidence so that you can be able to do and say things that help you to get to that place of enjoyment and passion and creativity and vision and dreams and anything that makes you feel happy. Even if that's like, as I'm doing this because I'm starting to hear like music and see like dancing, but not structured dancing, like just dancing for the fun of it. I'm seeing an image of myself. Even I hate doing dishes. I know I have to do them. And I've lived in an apartment before where I didn't have a dishwasher. Dishwashers definitely make the task easier. And so I would put on music and I would just like be dancing while I'd be scrubbing the plates. And that's one of the reasons that I'm not a fan of dishes, because I get very OCD tendencies when it comes to cleanliness. And so I will spend a really long time scrubbing a dish. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so that is not something that I enjoy. But when I would put on the music, like I even remember there was one time, what song was it? Oh my gosh, it was Beastie Boys. You had to fight for your right to party. And I'm standing there and I'm just like singing that song and bubbles are going everywhere and making the task fun. So even some of these mundane tasks or things that you feel like you have to do, it's bringing some fun back into it. That could be making it challenging, giving yourself like a goal or a timer, or adding in some music, adding in something fun, or giving yourself permission to take breaks to do something fun. Like say, okay, I'm going to do this thing that I feel like I have to do, or that I do have to do, or people tell me I have to do, whatever that is, for X amount of time. And then I'm going to give myself a break for this long. And in that time, I can do whatever I want. So like giving yourself permission to rest. Sometimes I've suggested to clients, like if you're wanting to go for a walk or add in an exercise or do something that you usually don't get to because you've got all these things on your list. Write it on your calendar. If you are a calendar or schedule person, write yourself on your calendar. At this time, I'm going to do this. Make the time for yourself. It's important to do that. My cheeks are so red. We got rosacea. All right, what else? How do we get out of this energy? This is so stuck. No wonder the first card out the gate was the Hanged One. This is a very stuck energy. And I think that's part of why there were so many cards just flipping out all at one time, because that's partly the energy that I feel in my head, like just this, constant, can't rest, can't do this, and that's feeling stuck, like it's just too much. Oh, yeah, that throat chakra. You have got to start speaking up for yourself. And it is not easy. But it is okay to say that I need something different or I want to do something. That hurt. All right, so let's see if anything else comes out of the deck. If not, we will move on to an oracle. 2121. You may want to look that up and see what 2121 means if you're into angel numbers. How many cards is that? Goodness gracious. I guess we'll go with it. All right. I don't like when more than one card comes out. I don't know why. I guess because I sometimes feel like, was that me or was that the deck? But these feel right. So we've got the World. And I feel like it's focusing on, so we do have some nipples here. I think we'll be okay, but I'll go ahead and cover them anyway. We've got the World. And notice how she is in this ribbon. And I know I've made this reference before, but it reminds me of like the ribbon dancers, where you have like the ribbon hanging down from the ceiling. Now I got the hiccups. And people are using it to dance, and it's like building your confidence. It's doing something fun. It's exercise. Like it's task and fun all in one. I didn't mean to rhyme just now. What is going on with me? This is weird. Weird energy here, but it's okay. We're going with it. And notice how the sky is so blue. And there's even a wreath, like the victory wreath. There's an infinity symbol. And I feel like it's reminding yourself that there are so many opportunities and there are so many things that you can do. But when you get stuck in that box, and we put ourselves in that box, it feels like you can't. In her hands, she has a wand in each hand. So you have to remember that you're creating your own destiny. And it's being able to understand that even with all the elements represented here in the zodiological signs, that there are opportunities everywhere. And whether it's getting outside or getting in the water or being able to do something in the air, maybe you enjoy flying, maybe you enjoy hang gliding or something, or doing something outside. Maybe you enjoy camping and getting really in tune with the ground, nature, or whatever it is. But understanding that there are opportunities all around that you can tap into. So stop narrowing your focus. Stop staying stuck, feeling like there's just certain things that you can do. Think outside of the box. We got the Two of Pentacles. And when I'm looking at this, the first thing that I notice is the mountains in black in the background as a shadow. And then the fact that she's standing there in the nature, and the mountains with them being that dark color and not really as defined as the front, it just feels kind of oppressive is the word that I'm thinking of. Like it's something that you can't see, but it's there, and it's something that maybe you need to pay attention to. And this is what you want to pay attention to, like this more beautiful, fun nature thing. And so it's trying to balance all of those obligations. And oh my gosh, her face. Let me see if I can get that close enough for you to see. Look at her face. That's the energy I'm feeling. Like this is so heavy. Trying to fit into these two worlds. The world where you know, especially with pentacles and money, we feel like we have to do the things in order to be able to get the money. We have to make sure things are a certain way, even in our home. We have to keep up appearances. We have to do this. We have to do that. I mean, she is wearing high heels out in the grass. She's cute. She's very beautiful. But this is not a practical outfit for the situation that she is in. And her earrings, so she's got the yellow on. So we talked about that. Solar plexus chakra, and there's the anxiety right there, and then her earrings are orange, so we've got that sacral chakra, but it's the anxiety, the yellow, that unbalanced solar plexus chakra is so big, and that little bit of sacral chakra representation that she has on is so small, and it's like feeling like that there's all those anxieties, all of these swords, all of these thoughts, all of those emotions with the King of Cups that you're trying to suppress. It's creating more anxiety, and it is stifling you. It's stifling your passion, your desires, the things that you want to do. And you, like I said, it just feels like losing pieces of yourself. And it's like the throat chakra aspect is wanting to scream and say, what about me? Like, I'm doing all this stuff for other people. What about me? And then having to come to terms with the fact that, like with this Page of Pentacles, if you don't take action, you're stuck in this contemplative state of change. This page is kind of at the beginning of the change. There's a desire, there's a want, but this page doesn't know how to get there. How can I look? We've got orange in the shoes. We've got orange even in the glasses. There's that contemplation. And then we've got the blue on her shirt, or their shirt, and in the backpack. You're getting closer. But you have to figure out what are those things that you want. With this sacral chakra, staying grounded, you don't have to be it doesn't have to be some pie in the sky dream that you feel like you're not going to get. Reach for the stars is what I heard in my head. And yes, reach for the star. Like, do things that you feel like right now in this energy, you can't, like, I can't just take a day off. I can't just take a vacation. I can't just, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you may have to figure out how that fits in and you still get what you need. But it's going to be trying to figure out ways that you can find that balance, like let go of that Two of Pentacles energy. The money, yes, we have to have money to live. But at the end of the day, is the money really going to sustain you? It might get you what you need. And saving it up seems smart, feels smart, but it doesn't mean you have to spend all your money. But there's something that you need to do, and you're just getting into your thoughts. And anytime that you feel like you might want to do it, you're holding yourself back. And it's creating a lot of difficulty for you. Is there anything else from the tarot that, oh goodness. Goodness gracious. You have got to get out of your head because you got the Five of Wands. It's like this battle in your head. And that's what I was saying earlier. Between the emotions and the thoughts, it's like the emotions say, I need to come out. I need to be seen. I need to be validated. I need to be able to feel what I want to feel. And the thoughts say, you can't feel what you want to feel. You have to do what everybody else wants you to do. You have to be this person who does all the things and meets expectations. And you cannot figure out, right now at least, how to balance those things. So it feels like a constant battle, but this isn't a battle with other people. This is a battle with yourself. And those wands can represent like fire and passion. You're fighting your own desires. You're trying to keep them down. You're trying to suppress them. And it is biting you in the bottom. It is biting you in the bottom. And then we got the Seven of Swords. Because what you want to do is you want to run away. You want to end this battle. Pick up the swords. we're not doing this anymore, and I am running off. I've got things that I want, and I'm running off. And part of you says that's what I want to do, but that's also childish, right? It feels like, oh, that's childish. I can't do that. Maybe you don't do things that would be hurtful or taking something from yourself or others. That's not necessarily the child or play-like aspect that we want. But you are being called to be a bit more in tune with your inner child, or with that sacral chakra, with that passion, and figuring out what you want. And she's wearing all blue. Like, you've got to speak up. What is it you want? Say what you want. Create opportunities for what you want. 30-30. So we had 21-21 and 30-30. What is it that you want and need? I feel like we may need to move on to some oracle cards, because the message is coming through, but we're not necessarily there yet. All right. Six of Cups. Like I said, it's getting into that more childlike mode. What were things that you enjoyed when you were younger? Maybe you don't do them exactly the way that you would when you were a kid, because you're an adult now. Like, you know, the difference between some of the simple coloring books versus the adult coloring books. Maybe instead of finger paints, you buy some paints and try it, even if you've never painted anything before. Just have fun. Your inner child is screaming for attention and saying, please, can we have some fun? And look at this child on the horse here in the Sun card. You can stay grounded and still have that childlike innocence and that, look at this joy. Look at all this yellow. And red and yellow make orange, your sacral chakra, bringing in the passion, the joy, the love, the intimacy. You can do it. There's a new beginning that can come, but you have to make that change, and you have to accept that inner child that maybe felt like that you couldn't do certain things, people told you couldn't do certain things. The inner child needs to play. We're going to go with the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, and this is Toni Hartman. I will show you the box in just a second. The Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards. We're going to pull just a couple of these, I say, and then the deck will probably give me 3. We will see, to see what needs to be the focus. What do you need to do? What is holding you back? We're going to start with that. What is holding you back? Impatience. It flew out of the deck. And we've got that throat chakra as well. So, you got to slow down. Remember I said it felt so fast. There's all these thoughts. They're racing through the head. And right now as I'm saying this, I'm feeling more calm. I'm feeling more grounded. The thoughts are dissipating a little bit. You've got to slow down. And I feel like, because what I'm seeing is you sitting down and writing things down. You may not like to do that. Maybe you dictate it in your phone, but I promise you, if you actually write it down, there is something powerful about writing things down if you're able to. And also it slows you down and it gives you a visual. So whether you draw it, you bullet point it, you write it down in detail, whatever it is that you do, slow down. And I want you to write down some ideas of things that you want to do and you haven't done. And you can even look at resources outside, like Google, or use a search engine and look up fun activities for adults or fun activities for whatever. And then do that. Even if that's within your relationship and intimacy. Fun activities for the bedroom. Whatever it is that you need, just look. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Even if you write it down, doesn't mean you have to do it. But it's time to really think about, what do I want? Regardless of whatever those thoughts that are the negative self-talk or the doubting thoughts or whatever it is. What do I want? Slow down. Let go of that impatience, because you can work and work and work and do all the things and keep going and going and going, and then you never get the chance to slow down and do the things that you want to do. Take a breath. Take a breath. You may have goals of things that you want to meet within your career, or whatever it is that you're focused on, and that's great. But understanding that in order to create balance, you have to also create time for yourself. And I say that as somebody who has been through this and knows, and not even in the distant past, that focusing only on the things that need to be done, the tasks and activities that have to be done, is not helpful. And I don't know what's going on here, but I don't know if you're getting headaches a lot. But all of a sudden, as I was saying that, I'm getting this headache right across my head. Like, it is just, again, tension. Your job, your accomplishments, your things you feel are your duties, whatever, that does not define your self-worth. And now the headache is still there, but it's getting less. You have been putting a lot of focus on what you can do to promote accomplishment or show that you're worthy, or do things for others, whatever it is. You've been putting a lot of focus on your worth being what you can do outside of yourself. But there's a spotlight, and this is a sacral chakra card. There is a spotlight on this orange chair, and there is a child-looking person. It may not be a child, but that looks like a child to me. It is time. What did I say? I said, I see you sitting down and writing. It is time to look at that inner child. Sit in that chair, maybe out in the sun, a place that you feel comfortable, a room that feels cozy, whatever it is that makes you feel good. And start thinking about the things that you want to do, even if you don't think they're possible, to bring some joy back into your life. You've got to. Right now, like, I see the cold and the water, and even the water is just going to be ice cold in that image. And then you've got that warm orange coming down. All those thoughts staying in that Ten of Swords energy, that's a cold place to be. You're putting yourself in this kind of position where you feel very isolated and lonely, because when we can't share our passions, our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings with others, and it's all just in our head and weighing us down, it feels very lonely. It feels very cold, very isolating. All right, anything else from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck? Nope. We are good on that one. All right. Still really feeling this Cosmic Record deck, partly because it gives just such clear but concise focuses. So what needs to be heard from this Cosmic Record deck? Ooh. Excuse me. Hiccups again, coming in super strong. This deck is even harder to shuffle right now because it's very stiff, very thick, and very slick. But hopefully, when I have my consultation with the doctor, he'll be able to help me figure out some things that might be helpful. All right. I feel like I need to take a breath. I feel like you need to take a breath. Like I said with this, like, just that patience and the self-worth, just sitting and taking a breath. So let's do that right now. Let's kind of ground ourselves. Breathe in. Breathe out. And I feel like some movement's needed here. Don't worry about how you look or anything like that, but just allow yourself to stretch and breathe and let go of some of that tightness, because you've got a lot of tightness going on here. All right, so let's see what the cards say. I didn't even notice that, but there are blue and orange. We got two cards that came out. Blue and orange butterflies. I saw the blue ones before, but there are orange butterflies on there as well. All right. Oh, yes. I think these are going to be the last two cards at 39.39. Protect your boundaries. You naturally give to others, but now it's time to protect your energy. Set boundaries around your space to avoid being drained. Protecting yourself isn't selfish. Only then can you continue helping others. That is exactly what I have been talking about. You have to be able to give to yourself or do things for yourself and focus on yourself as much as you've been focusing on other people. Yes, there are people who are going to say that you're being selfish, or they may get upset because you set your boundaries. That's because they're used to things being a certain way, and they aren't always recognizing because they aren't focused on it. You've just always done these things. How much time and energy and what a toll it takes on you. And this is where the throat chakra comes up as the blue is in the background on my lamps. The throat chakra of you being able to communicate those things. So the last card, step boldly. Staying in your comfort zone limits your options. The Two of Pentacles and the Hanged One energy. We're going to read that again. Staying in your comfort zone limits your options. Take the leap, and the world's complexity and diversity, and you got the World card here. Look at this. The world's diversity and complexity will bring you more unexpected rewards and surprises. Card drop. I love how in the readings everything comes together and like things that I've said before, the cards then are saying. But yes, 100%, that is your confirmation. In order to get this, you're going to have to give up holding on to those rigid boundaries and rules and ideas that you keep in your head for yourself, those expectations. And allow yourself to also let go of the expectations of others. If it's something that you absolutely need to do to survive, as long as it's not anything that, and I know I've said this before, but that hurts you, hurts other people, or is illegal, it's time for you to stand up. It is time for you to focus on yourself some. Be a little selfish if that's the way you need to define it for yourself. That I'm going to be selfish for today. I'm going to be selfish in this moment. Whatever it is that you need to say. Because the thing is, you are just as worthy, whether you're doing something to fulfill a role or to fulfill an expectation or something that you feel like you must do, you have to do, as when you take time to do things for yourself. And that's the message. All right, take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Be sure to check out the site. As far as I know, unless anything's happened while I've been recording this over the last 40 some minutes, there's still 2 free tickets, vouchers, whatever you want to call them, in the event section of EmpathicCrow1111.com. Google Empathic Crow and I come up right at the top on the search engine. And those recorded readings, like I said, there's 2 more left, are completely free. You get to choose the focus or say, I just want you to see what you pick up on. And there's also still the launch special, 35% off. That's until the 22nd of June. So take advantage of those things. And definitely, I would love any feedback that you have when you do get a reading from me or a service from me. Tarot, mediumship, and Reiki. Those are the main services that I'm doing right now. And I will update you when anything changes. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye.